See, this all started because the Radford City Police Department, they wanted to apologize for murder of Tyree Nichols in Memphis, Tennessee, 600 miles away from Radford, Virginia. And I was like, hey, I can prove y'all just like really messed up stuff to me. You should apologize to me, your citizen, your constituent. And instead, they want to use your tax money to sue me. That's the name and case number. You, the citizen, can go down to the courthouse and get a copy. Read the case and the motions. Look at the paperwork that the state police and the Christiansburg police say that constitutes the Radford City Police committing an armed abduction of my child and covering it up. Let's read this. What's their argument? Oh, Virginia Code 2.2-3704. Access to such record shall be provided by the custodian in accordance with this chapter. So the next page here. In order to support a claim under Virginia Code 22-3713, Mr. Ashley must demonstrate there is good cause for his petition and plead with specifically the circumstances under which he has been denied rights under the Freedom of Information Act. Mr. Ashley's sole allegation against the department is a cursory statement that, quote, Radford City Police has a policy that this information cannot be received through Freedom of Information Act request and must be court-ordered. If that's what they're saying, let's count how many times Radford City Police Department lied to their lawyer.
Do people have to hire an attorney to find out in Radford that cops can go into the school and take your child and give it to someone else?
If you're dating all the way back to '09, yeah, I can't release records. That's not my job. Sorry to tell, Sheriff City Police Department.
How you doing? So I'm just out here. Let me tell you real quick. I have you on speakerphone, and I have a video camera recording.
I've never had an interaction with you, so I don't know what you're wanting us to apologize for. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, of course. So I got the paperwork right here. We came for a court-ordered visitation. While we had physical custody of the child during the court-ordered visitation, the custodians called the Radford Police Department and said that we had him and we would not give him back. So the RPD came, they took the child, gave him back to the custodians. Now, everything's in the paperwork except when I tell you we did this under the threat of arrest. If we did not comply, we was going to be arrested. That's not in the paperwork, but everything else is. So after they take custody of the child back to the custodians, RPD takes us to the courthouse where we file a show cause. So the fact that we filed a show cause means we had custody of the child in the police report until RPD showed up. Then we no longer had custody of the child where we're filing a show cause. And the fact that we're filing a show cause means that it was under duress.
What's your first name, Mr. Ashley?
John.
I understand that completely where you're coming from. I don't dictate what we release to the media or, personnel. Okay,
that's cool, bro, but you can release the policy. So if there was a policy that said in 2009, RPD could take, okay, I don't have to repeat that whole thing again, but if there's that policy, then how about, well, what are we going to do about it then? Let me just tell you this, sir. Let me just tell you this. Because of this series of events, with these people being able to take my child and never allow us to have our court-ordered visitations, I've moved out here. I've been out here with almost 15 years now with no family. I've had multiple suicide attempts. I have begged so many people to help me, and no one seems to care at all. I've asked Radford Police Department to go speak to the mental aid. No, listen, I've asked RPD to go address the mental health board and explain to them their policy of not investigating an abduction, which is taking control of someone by violence, threat of violence, or deception, if the deception is under oath to a family court judge. So the mental health agency thinks that if I can actually prove an abduction, the police will do something, but they won't. And I've asked Radford Police Department, because they have their meetings in Radford, to come down there and address more on that, and you've also refused to do that.
Well, their police department doesn't dictate how the mental health system in Virginia. That's out of our control.
Oh, no, I understand that. But they're saying that a mentally ill person would say the Radford police, or just the police in general, don't investigate this type of abduction. As a broad statement. To which...
I get what you're saying with that. that is frustrating, but there are some cases where that is true. You do realize that as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. What can we do to get some transparency about the I call it perjury in the commission of an abduction? Since I asked to have that policy that you do not investigate that in writing, I was told there was no written policy that said that. So what can we do to make that a written policy?
If you're trying to handle anything in relation to our city police department, that you have to go through another agency, which would be Virginia State Police, because they have the authority to do so.
Oh, absolutely. See, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I've done that already. I've done that twice on video. Right? And they confirm it. They tell me that they can't get involved unless you request them to get involved. That's what I've been told multiple times.
And that's not going to be up to me. That's going to be somebody well above my pay grade. It's not going to be a decision I get to make. And if someone told you to seek civil counsel and a civil attorney over the matter, then they're probably correct on that. Because you're not going to get anything accomplished without that in court. So you have to have an attorney to do so and be able to, subpoena records and all that stuff.
Here's my thing about this. I've got letters from 2 different chiefs of police saying that nothing happened wrong. And if something did happen wrong, because you're saying it's not the policy now, but possibly it could have been then, but which I doubt, that would mean we have 2 different malfeasance charges against 2 different Radford police chiefs.
Well, that's not, like I said, that's before my time. I'm not saying there was a policy in place in the end. I'm not saying there's one in place now. But if you spoke to 2 current chiefs during that time frame, and they done the internal investigation, and they didn't find anything wrong with the stuff that went on, then that, like I said, there's no other option for anybody working now that can change that.
I mean, y'all keep getting cops arrested. I mean, what's the chance that you just had some dirty police chiefs and some more dirty cops? Y'all have got like 3 cops arrested in the past 2 years.
Okay.
So, I mean, what is just the chances you just had more cops committing criminal acts in 2009?
I don't know, sir. That's like I said, I wasn't even here associated with that police department. Is that what you're asking? Back in 2009?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm asking when that policy changed. I'm going to say, when did that policy change? I'm going to say, let me get a copy of that old policy, and when did it change? Because if it never changed, then that means you can go down to school and take a child out of school, right? If they say that our policy has not changed, if they say our policy on this subject has not changed since 2009, and what happened to me was legitimate, that means Radford Police Department can go down to the school and take a child out and give it to someone in violation of a court order, right?
What policy? Do you even have the policy number that you're referencing?
No, because I begged you to give it to me, and no one can. Just when I asked to get the policy, you say call a civil lawyer.
Yeah, because we're not going to release the policy to you like that. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
So steps you have to go to obtain records.
oh no, I've done it. I was talking to records. Records we did that.
What I'm saying is, we're not gonna give you a city policy from the police department. We're not just gonna walk out there and hand it to you. That's not how that works.
Well, I understand that. That's why I'm doing it.
I can't walk out there and give you a policy. That's not how that works.
Well, once again, I've asked for it, and I was told there was that.
Did you?
I mean, I talked to records.
Did you go through did you go through your attorney though?
No.
Say you've not hired an attorney yet, so you probably need to go seek legal counsel.
But okay. Do people have to hire an attorney to find out in Radford that cops can go into the school and take your child and give it to someone else?
If you're dating all the way back to 2009, yeah, I can't release records. That's not my job.
I'm talking about to find out right now. You can't tell me now. You can't release that record now. So that's why you just said, how would we have it that I would need an attorney?
Because that's what that's what they advised you to do. So that's the steps you need to follow. A records manager's not going to go release stuff to you on that spectrum.
So I mean, hold on. So when someone files a complaint that is found unstained, and they're like, "I don't believe you. Let me see the policy that says this is okay."